Hi family. This is your girl. Anyway, so yesterday I was watching a Christian TV station, and I know some of you saw my post yesterday. I was watching this Christian TV station, and then I came about this praise team that were leading the people in worship, and they were young people, which I understand, and they were being young, and they wore jeans. I mean, the lady was leading, she wore a torn jeans, and the jeans wasn't just torn, it was torn in a way that you could see a skin, and it was so close to a penny line. And I screamed Jesus because I was shocked. I mean, shock is not even the word. I don't even know what word to use. I was stunned. I was like, what in the world is this? That I couldn't believe what I was saying. And I cried. It made me lose my appetite. I couldn't eat. I was just worried about the state of the church. I was worried at the state of the Christian network going forth, televising this kind of dressing in front of millions. I mean, that station, I believe millions watch it, because it's not just in the United States, it's in Australia, it's in England, it's in Africa, it's in all over. And then what are you telling the young people? That it's okay to come to the presence of God naked? Basically, she was naked because I could see everything that she was wearing. I could see her tights, I could see her skin, I could see everything. It was close to a penny line. And I was just in disbelief. Like, is this really happening? I had to shake myself, pinch myself, like I was saying the right thing. Yes, I was saying the right thing. And it broke my heart into million pieces. And I went to God. I was like, God, have mercy on your church. Have mercy on your church. There's this trend going on right now that everybody feels it's okay to come to God's presence anyhow. It's not okay to come to God's presence anyhow, because if it was okay when the people had access to God before Jesus Christ became our access, God told Moses how the people should appear before him. They didn't just come anyhow. He told them how to dress, how to come before him, how to sanctify themselves before they came before him, because he's an holy God. And then we talk about grace, but grace is so misused. It's just a thing that everybody has stomped upon, trampled upon, and felt like, yes, I have grace, I can do whatever. Grace is not your access to do whatever. Like Romans said, can we continue in sin and we believe that grace should still keep on abounding or abiding, whatever? And he said, of course not. We cannot continue in sin and feel like grace is our access to sin. Grace is not your access to sin. Grace is immeasurable favor that God has bestowed upon us to have access to him. And we must not just overlook it. We must not just feel like it's something that we can just trample upon and just walk all over. You can't walk all over God. Even myself, sometimes I'm in God's presence and he tells me, go and do this, go and do that. I know his presence. And I know you can't just come casually. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you coming casually, to be honest. But sometimes you can be so casual and not reverence God. And that's what we're missing in this generation. We're missing that reverential fear of the Lord. Reverential fear of the Lord is not to be afraid of God, but to just fear that he is omnipotent, is omniscient, is omnipresent, is the God that is everywhere. Is God that is everywhere at the same time, that knows all things, that does all things, that just that fear. We're losing that, and we are accommodating everything. The church today, people, is like a marketplace. You're buying and selling your talent. You're buying, they don't pay you this X amount of money, you cannot perform, you cannot function. Music ministers are celebrities. Musicians, gospel artists, they are celebrities. Everybody wants to be famous for something. Everybody wants to be, want accolade for this. They want to take the throne. Like I told you, that God showed me 2 weeks ago, and he told me after we finished prayer that the church today they're playing a game of thrones. It's like my throne is higher. It's my throne that you need to exalt. Don't exalt the throne of God. I am your Messiah. I am your lily of the valley. I am your God. Reverence me, honor me. I am. That's why there's no power. That's why there's no power. That's why everybody could just walk casually and walk out casually without change. Meaning, how can you come to God's presence naked? Naked. In front of people. It's something that I can't believe. I'm still in disbelief. Like, that really happened? And it was televised? And then, how can you turn the hearts of the young people back from that? I mean, believers, I know there's a remnant out there. There's a remnant. Those that will not bow to the laws of this earth, that will not change standard to fit on earth. I know there's some people like that. I'm one of them. I will never change my standard to fit the standard of God. The standard of men. I told God a long time ago, if you will see my future, which you have seen, and you see that I'm going to, go astray and begin to fall into the paws of the enemy, the plan or the plots of Satan, to begin to conform to the standard of this world, then take my life at that time and let me go rest, because there's no purpose of me being on earth and then missing heaven, which is my true home. This is not home. This is just temporary, but we are making this temporary so glorious than the heavens that you're supposed to be anticipating to go to. And there's this broad road right now, this broad mega church road that everyone is caught up in. I'm telling you, narrow is the road that leads to holiness. Narrow is the road that leads to righteousness. You may think that you're on the right path, and then you're not on the right path. But I'm telling you, narrow is that road. So be conscious of this. Be cognizant of this. Be careful, because every road that is on right now is not leading to heaven. It's not leading to holiness. It's not leading to that sacred life that God has called us to. Everyone is doing things, doesn't make it right. Even the most precious man of God that you honor so much, that you place his throne above the throne of God, even that one going on that road, you may think that road is that road that leads to holiness. It is not the road. Be careful the road that you walk on, and the path that you've chosen to lead you to heaven, because so many roads out there that are not leading you nowhere. So that's why I want you to be careful. I want you to be careful. I want you to be highly discerning, to know the Spirit of God, to know the Spirit of truth, to know the path of righteousness. Jesus says, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. If any man put his throne above the throne of God, because it's now a game of thrones. The church is a marketplace. I'm telling you, it's a marketplace now. You have to be careful that you're not caught up in it. Just because everybody is doing something doesn't mean it's the right path, is the right thing, and it's the place of holiness. Look at Jesus. When he came to the temple. They were buying and selling. Oh my God. They were buying and selling. And he stood and like a crazy man. I'm sure even the people thought he was crazy, because they said even the Pharisees see this, they don't say nothing about it. The Sadducees see this. These are the elite of churches. These are the prophets. These are the men of God that comes in the temple every day. They see this buying and selling, yet they don't say nothing about it. But Jesus Christ went there and scattered them and beat them out of the temple. Why? Because it says, my house is a house of prayer, not a marketplace. But what do we have in church today? We have marketplaces where you can sell your talent. People are buying talent. People are buying musicians to come sing on the praise team. People are buying everything. They are buying and selling. Oh, I can't give God my talent. You have to pay me for it. I'm like, I know, I'm not saying that, God is not going to reward you for doing things in the temple, but the church is not your marketplace. Take all that trading out of there. It's not your marketplace. That's why you have to be careful who you follow these days. So many false prophets are now being unleashed into this generation. And that's why you must be careful. I don't want to miss heaven, because if I miss heaven, guess what? I'm going to pay with my own blood to get back in. And I'm not willing to pay with my blood, because Jesus Christ already paid that. That's my free access to heaven. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to honor it. I'm going to treat it as something precious, something special, something that I can never trade anything for. It's my treasure, and I treasure it. If you find a treasure, don't you treasure it? You find gold, you find silver, you find something that is so worth millions of dollars. Won't you keep it? Yeah, that's how I keep my Jesus. It's so worth billions and billions and billions and billions of whatever currency you're in, or whatever currency you can think of. And that's why I cannot treat him as common. I cannot treat him as being just any. No, he's not just anything. He's everything. So that's why I'm telling you today, be careful. Be careful. There's so much destruction out there, and they're after your life. That's why you have to be so discerning. You have to be so discerning. You have to be so discerning. And I pray that the Spirit of truth will liberate you. And that's the Spirit of God. That's the Spirit of Jesus. And have a blessed day. I love you. God loves you. But be careful. Be very, very careful. Not every road these days, even the mega churches, not every road leads to God. Not every church speak about the true and one true God. Everybody has exalted their throne above the throne of grace, above the throne of God. Everybody is now a God. I mean, we are gods, of course, on earth, but nobody's throne should be above the throne of God. No one's throne. No one's throne. If you cannot lose your blood to save my life, you are nothing but a human being. You're just my common brother and sister. The one who lost his own blood to save me is who I will enthrone above every other throne on this earth and in heaven. So I pray that is your testimony as well. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Bye.